Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this part two of hip examination by Professor John Ebnezar. We thank you, sir, for taking this postgraduate series and welcome you for this part two of hip examination. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Ashok. Thank you. So shall I go ahead?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, dear students, good evening to you all. I think we should thank Ashok Sham for this beautiful initiative, which is bringing us together and share the knowledge, and you people can learn a lot of things with this. So we should really thank him, and I'm really grateful to him for giving me this platform to speak to you. Well, so we had started this series 2 weeks back, the HIP examination, and we covered part of the HIP examination, and then we came up to the inspection, and in the inspection, the first part was the game, so which we have finished that. Now, if I go through all those slides again, it will consume a lot of time. Anyway, this first talk is available on the website, so you can access that talk for those people who have not seen the first talk, and then follow the second talk. So now we will start from where we left on 9th of November. So now I am still in the inspection now. I'm going slow so that you people understand things better, and I don't want to rush through the slides because it's very important that you understand each and every aspect of your examination. And Ashok has given me the liberty to be slow, and if a situation warrants, we'll go to the third part, and he's okay with it. So, thanking him, we move forward now. So, the inspection, the look, positions. So, this is the second aspect of the inspection, positions. So, there are three positions you will have to inspect the patient for the hip pathology. One is you have to inspect the patient from the front, from the sides, and from the back. It is said that appearances are always deceptive. Hence, we need to look properly. Look at the person, not just the hip joint, and avoid all and look all around, not only from the front. Look how the patient walks. Look at the patient as a whole. This is extremely important. You have to look at the person, not just look at the hip joint, because there are so many things you can pick up from not looking at the patient. You always should know what are the important landmarks that you must not miss in the inspection. In the front, it is anterior superior iliac spine, pubic tubercle, pubic symphysis, and the groin fold. And from the back, it is the iliac crest, posterior superior iliac spine, and the ischial tuberosity. And at the sides, it is the great trochanter and the iliac crest. So familiarize yourself with these landmarks always when you do the hip examination. Then the third aspect of inspection is to look, that is the attitude. What is the attitude of the hip or of the limb? Observe the attitude carefully. It pays handsomely if you know how to interpret the attitude of the hip and the lower limbs. What is the length of the lower limb? Is it short or is lengthening? And if it is short, is it a mild shortening or a gross short? The first thing you should look. Second, is the limb externally rotated? If it is externally rotated, is it mild? If it is mild, it is usually because of the fractured neck of femur. Old fractured neck of femur will have not complete rotation but mild external rotation. Then, is the external rotation marked? So it could be because of the trochanteric fractures in examinations. You don't get acute fractures, you get old fractures, so that could point towards some trochanteric pathology. Or is there an attitude of flexion, adduction, internal rotation? So if that is there, then it is posterior dislocation or stage of arthritis or tuberculosis hip. That is flexion, adduction, internal rotation. This is the attitude. This is the market shortening, and this is the femur fractures. That is what you should look at. Or is the attitude of flexion, abduction, external rotation. If this is so, Then it is the anterior dislocation, not the posterior dislocation, and that is what it tells you so. And is there rotting of the trochanter and very that is so easy. So the attitude is mild shortening or rod shortening, external rotation mild or marked, flexion, adduction, internal rotation, posterior dislocation of the hip, flexion, abduction, external rotation is anterior dislocation of the hip, or early stages of PV's hip, broadening of the trochanter perineum is suggesting CDH. You know the mistake in the slide here. Then from the inspect from above down this order. Level of the head and neck of the shoulder is the first thing what we should look at. Second, chest asymmetry. Is the chest symmetrical or asymmetrical? What has happened to the abdomen? Is it protruded or normal? What is the level of the pelvis? What has been fullness in the scarpa's triangle, front of the thighs, level and direction of the patella, which will tell about rotational deformities. Look for the knee joint levels. What is the level of the knee joints? And level and direction of the foot and the toes. This is very important. Muscle wasting, dilated veins, swellings, scars and sinuses. So these are the things we should look from the front, and it should go in a very manner and to the slides, to the examination. So this is what you should look in front from about downwards in this order. If this is clear, then moving ahead. Then from the back, again from out, what is the level of the shoulder? Level of the scapula, spine curvatures, any mass in the thoracolumbar and lumbar region, possible prolapses, deformity in the thoracolumbar region, hippus. We present what is the type of hippus. It is a knuckle, angular, or round. Is the pelvis level or tilted up and down? Fullness in the gluteal region. You have to look at that. And then level of the gluteal folds. This is the level of the gluteal folds. And the level of the thigh creases. The level of the thigh creases to be looked into. Fullness in the popliteal fossa. And then taut endoachelis is the fourth equines. So these are the things we should look from back and train yourself in such a way that we don't miss anything. If you follow methodical examination from top to bottom, it is unlikely that you will miss any points. Now we come to the sides. Again, from above downwards, inspection from the sides. What is that you should look here? Hippus or lordosis. Is that deformity of the spine? If it is increased lumbar lordosis, then look for the protruded abdomen. It then possibilities could be spondylolisthesis, fixed flexion deformity of the hip, and then flat back. If you see increased lumbar lordosis, then these three are the possibilities. If it is a flat back, it could be because of muscle spasm, because of IVDP, level of the anterior suprailiac span, and then trochanter thickness. Is the knee flexed? Then should put in equines. If the knee, you have to look whether there is a shortening and equiness of the foot. So this is what we should see from the sides. At all positions, look for the following: wasting of the muscles all around. You have to look for any swelling in and around the hip joint, thickening of the bone, and color changes in the skin. This is what we should look for all around. Then, does the limb appear short? If so, what the limb includes? ASIS is on the higher side, patella is high, foot is in equinus, and contralateral knee is bent forward. So, if you see these figures, then it is very clear that the limb is short. Now, we get into the local examination. This was inspection. Now we are getting to step 2. Step 2 is palpation. The first thing what you do is you feel in palpation. So what is that you are going to feel? Overall, what is it you are going to feel? And specifically, what are you going to feel? Overall, You're going to feel, move, and measure. In palpation, there are three things what you're going to do. One is you're going to feel, second you're going to move, then you're going to measure. And when you're going to feel, what is it you're going to feel? It's a temperature, tenderness, and pulse. So these are the three things what you're going to feel. So now let us get familiar with these body parts. In the front, the first thing what I told you was anterior superior iliac spine. How are you going to mark it? It is very important. You should know how to mark it. You should just not do arbitrarily some markings. It has to be done properly. So you have to slide along the inguinal ligament and lock the metal tip at the first bony point what you need. That is your anterior superior iliac spine. So please understand that. Then you have to mark the tip of the greater trochanter. So how do you mark the tip of the greater trochanter? You have to slide upwards laterally like that and feel the tip, that is end of the resistance. That is the tip of the greater trochanter. You have to slide upwards laterally and feel the tip, and you feel the end of the resistance, that is the greater trochanter tip. Pubic tubercle, it is about 2.5 to 2.5 centimeter lateral to the pubis. This is the pubis if I see. Just 2 to 2.5 centimeters lateral is the pubis. Tubercle. Then knee or lateral joint line of the knees. You need to bend the knee, feel the gap, then mark it. So that is the medial or the lateral joint. Then you have to mark the tip of the medial malleolus. Mark the posterior inferior part. This is the part you should mark. In the back, you have to mark the iliac crest, PSIS, which corresponds to the people of Venus. Then ischial tuberosity. Feel the most prominent part in the inferior medial part of the buttock with the hip flexed to 90 degrees. That is how you should mark the ischial tuberosity. You have to flex the hip to 90 degrees, and then at the inferior medial part of the buttock, the most prominent part what you feel is the ischial tuberosity. What can be used? It's a fingertip. So if you have fingertips which you are going to use to detect all this, mark the bony marks, and it would be fallacious if you don't use it properly. So knowledge is power. If you know how to do this, then there are less chance of you making any mistake. The more accurate the metal tips of the measuring tape, this will eliminate the human errors, and that is better than using just your fingertips. So this is what we should do without familiar with the body parts. Then palpation. What are the three? There are three things what you feel. One, temperature, tenderness, thickness. So temperature, you need to feel for the local rise of temperature from the dorsum of the hand, because that's the most sensitive. Then tenderness, thickness. This is the temperature and the fullness. That's what you should feel. Then pulse, you have to feel the femoral artery, gluteal regions. You have to feel for the muscle of the head of the femur, and feel for the muscle waist and deformities. So in palpation, this is what we're going to do. Temperature, tenderness, thickness, femoral artery pulsation, and presence of head or waist and deformities. Tenderness. Where all to elicit the tenderness. Anterior joint line below the inguinal ligament, lateral to the femoral artery. So that is where you are going to anterior joint line. You should know if the examiner asks you, please show me the anterior joint line. You should be able to show that accurately. You should not fumble in this type of question. You should be perfect. It is just below the inguinal ligament, lateral to the femoral artery. Then posterior joint line. That is the Ober's point. That is the posterior joint line. This is the Ober's point, and this is where you are going to elicit the posterior joint tenderness. Greater trochanter. That is another very important area where it is in the tenderness. Adductor longus or adductor screen. That is another. Then lesser trochanter or iliopsoas screen. Ischial tuberosity or hamstring sprain. So these are the palpation. Two body points that matter the most in the hip joint. One is greater trochanter, another is the head of the femur. Greater trochanter. What is that you're going to palpate in the greater trochanter? And what is that you're going to see? You're going to see whether it is broader, thicker, whether there is a local rise of temperature. and whether there is tenderness, and whether it is displaced. So these are the things what you are going to look at the greater trochanter. You can see here the greater trochanter is broadened, thickened, shifted up. So all that, and when you press, you will feel tenderness, or you don't feel tenderness. So these are some of the issues you should look at. If there is tenderness, that means there is margin fracture. If there is no tenderness, that means there is margin fracture. So that is what you can gather from eliciting the tenderness properly. And then the other important body point what we should look at is where is the head of the femur? Where is it? Is it in the dorsophilia? Is it in that means it is location unreduced? So if you feel the head in the dorsum ila. If it is the groin, then it could be a pubic type of anterior dislocation. Anyway, these are all the unreduced, the old or neglected is what you get in an examination or acute cases. Or if the head of the femur is in the perineum, then it could be an objective type of anterior dislocation. Hope you have got these things right in your mind. Then trochanteric region. What we should do? If there is a mass there, is it soft? If it is soft, it points towards bursitis. Is it hard and tender? If it is so, then it is telling that there could be a malunited trochanteric fracture. Then, if is thicker and non-tender, then it could be malunited trochanter fractures. If thickened and chondrosarcomas, osteomas, etc. Check if the thickening is regular or irregular. That is also very important. Check where is the trochanter, high or low or in the same position. So these are the things what you should be in the trochanteric region by way of palpation. Then femoral artery pulsations has been felt. It's called vascular sign of Lumbar. You feel that. Where to find the femoral artery? Just below the midpoint of the inguinal ligament. Midway between the pubic tubercle and ASIS is your femoral artery. So you should know how to find the anterior joint line. You should also know how to find the femoral artery. If the examiner asks you, please explain how you found the femoral artery. You should be able to tell accurately. It should not fault here. Then what is that you should see? You have to compare the volume on the normal side. There could be three possibilities. One, if felt with difficulty, then it is normal. If readily felt, then the possibility of a unreduced anterior dislocation because the head of the tumor has come anteriorly, and so against that backdrop, you feel the artery very easily. That is so that is a possibility of unreduced anterior dislocation. If felt with greater difficulty or not at all felt, implies your lack of monism. Oh, this is when you tell that the test is positive, and diagnosis is it could be dislocation, unreduced posterior, or destruction of the femoral head. So it's clear with you. What is the vascular sign of Lumbar? It is the difficulty in feeling the femoral artery due to old dislocation or destruction of the femoral head. That is when you say that the vascular sign of Lumbar is positive. Yes. So, clinical examinations. These simple things only your mind starts, reaching the diagnosis, going towards diagnosis. So, these are very, very important, telltale marks which you should always look at. Then, in the femoral triangle and in the gluteal region, what is that we're going to look at? If you find a swelling there, it's soft, well, it could be collapses. If it is firm, enlarged inguinal lymph nodes. If hard, it could be head of femur and anterior dislocation. And check it by moving the thigh. If it moves, then it is the head of the femur. So, femoral triangle, three possibilities: soft swelling, firm swelling, hard swelling. Firm is soft is collapses, firm is enlarged lymph nodes, hard could be head of the femur there. And in the gluteal region, if you find a mass, what is that you are going to look at? Is it tender? And is the swelling soft? If it's so, possibility of a cold abscess. If it is hard and moves to the femur, it could be head of the femur due to posterior dislocation. So this is what you're going to look in the femoral triangle and the gluteal region. If you are suspecting swelling due to cold abscess, the suspected tuberculosis 5 or tuberculosis A, then you should look for these areas where the cold abscess can be detected. One is the iliac fossa. Second is the femoral triangle, medial to the femoral vessels, and gluteal region, that is superomedial region, supratrochanteric region, then anteromedial aspect of the mid-thigh. So these are the areas where you can possibly find cold abscess. So be alert and be on guard. Then examine the scars and sinuses for mobility or fixity and also for the tenderness. So that is very important. You will find that there is the scar and there is target osteomyelitis, all those things. So you have to find and examine the scars and sinuses for mobility or fixity. Then step 3 of the local examination is percussion. Is there a role for percussion in hip examination? Percussion, we know, is of great use in the chest examination, all those kind of things. But in hip examination, is there a role? Yes, there is a role. You can feel you can percuss over the heel pad in the extended position. If you can thump and if you get pain, that means there is some pathology in the hip joint. And you can also percuss over the trochanter. Thrust tenderness, what that is called. If that induces pain, it is pointed towards the hip problem. Anyway, this is not a very important examination as far as hip is concerned, but it does has a role. Then auscultation. It does not have a big role. Auscultation has no big role in hip examination except for femoral artery bruit, which if you find suspect some pathology in the femoral artery, a bruit can be auscultated. Otherwise, this auscultation is of limited value in hip examination. Now, we come to the hip deformities, step 5 of the examination. And understanding and unraveling the hip deformities is very, very important. So, what are the types of hip deformities? Types. Individual deformities. First three are common. What are those? Fixed flexion before the heel, fixed abduction before the heel, fixed external rotation before the heel. These three are the most common in hip deformities. Then comes fixed abduction deformity, fixed internal rotation deformity, and combination of deformities. In the individual deformities, these are the types of deformities: what intention, adduction, internal rotation, or into reflection, abduction, external rotation, adduction, and external rotation. So these are some of the important individual as well as combined deformities what we should look at. Now there are three famous hip deformities. What are those? Flexion deformity, abduction, adduction deformities, or coronal plane deformity, then rotational deformities, which will be internal or external. So these are the three famous hip deformities. Now, how does this hip deformities develop? What are the reasons? We should know. Initially, because of the pathology, there is muscle spasm. And if this muscle spasm persists for a longer time, then there could be protective postures adopted by the patient. And because of the protective postures adopted for a longer period of time, there could be soft tissue contractures which are soft initially, then later on it becomes quite hard. Then that is when the joint starts getting destroyed and the surgical interventions are warranted. And initially the deformities are temporary, then later on it becomes permanent. So muscle spasm, persistent protective postures, soft tissue contractures, gradual joint destructions, warranting the surgical interventions, initially temporary, later permanent. This is how the hip deformities develops. Now, what do we mean by fixed deformity? Joint is in a particular position. It is fixed. Cannot be brought back to neutral. So what do you mean by fixed? Fixed means it cannot bring the joint to neutral. So if you find any movement wherein you cannot bring it neutral, that means the joint is fixed. Further movement in the same axis possible, but opposite movements not possible. You understand this perfectly. That means if you have a fixed Adduction deformity, you have further adduction but you don't have abduction. If you have fixed flexion deformity, you have got further flexion but you don't have extension. So this is, you have to be very clear in your mind. Because in the examination, when you are doing it under stress or under tension, you forget these important things and air. So joint in the critical position, if it is fixed, that means it cannot be brought back to neutral. Further movement the same axis possible. Opposite movement is not possible. Most of the hip fixed deformities are associated with compensatory or secondary functional deformity. That means now you have to look for the primary deformities as well as for compensatory or secondary deformity in the hip joint. It is not just looking at the primary deformities. It is this is a very peculiar joint. It has got the compensations happening at the hip which can mislead. So now let us take a philosophically in the real life mistakes what we normally commit and the hip joint disease. Now what do we do in real life when we commit a mistake? We always try to compensate and we try to conceal the mistake what we have done. The hip joint is also similar. The disease tries to compensate and conceals the disease. So that is how it is. In real life, when you are caught in a traffic violation, they're caught. So what do? You compensate, you pay for the fines, and you don't tell it to anyone. You try to conceal it for the the what of the ridicule what you may be subjected to. When there's an accident, you try to compensate, you argue in the accident, you try to pay the compensation and concede total patients. When a crime is committed, we try to compensate. The compensation happens when we pay the price for what we have done, and then we will not reveal that to people. So we try to conceal. Similarly, hip disease compensates and conceals, but because it wants to keep that person on the ground, is very faithful to the owner of that joint. The joint is diseased. The joint is having pathology, but the hip joint wants the right to continue. It wants that person to go around, just not lie on the bed. So the person can carry out somehow compensation. How does this compensation you know, happen? You know that hip joint has got two big friends, very great friends. One is the pelvis, other is the spine. So these are the two friends who will try to help the hip joint in the disease. If you have to find the culprit in the hip joint, then you have to look at its neighbors. You look at its spine, and you need to look at the anterior superior iliac spine. That will tell you what is lying within the hip joint, because these are the two friends which are trying to hide the problems there. A careful look at these three structures helps you to identify the hip deformities. What are those? These are lordosis. What has happened to the anterior superior iliac spine? Is it high, low, or level? Then what is happening to the patella? Where is the patella looking at? We can read these things that you know what is the hip pathology inside. Let us take this one first. The fixed flexion deformity. If you find that when the patient is on the bed and he has got an increased lumbar lordosis, then we can be pretty sure that patient has got fixed flexion deformity. What is this increased lumbar lordosis trying to tell you? It is flexion deformity. Pathogenesis of FFT. So, how does this fixed flexion deformity arise? When the disease strikes the hip joint, the synovium gets affected first, later the articular nerve gets affected. This excess synovium makes the joint assume the position of flexion. When that gets fixed, it becomes fixed flexion deformity. This is how it starts. Then the concealment happens next. How does the concealment happen? The pelvis tilts forward, spine tilts forward, that is increased lumbar lordosis. So when this happens, the foot is brought onto the ground. So if the patient is covered with the clothing, it will not be able to recognize that the patient has fixed flexion deformity. You may assume that patient is normal, but when you make the patient lie down and see the position of the spine, if there is increased lordosis, then definitely it's going to tell you that there is a fixed Okay. Then what can you should do next? Pass your hand beneath the lordosis. Then you perform the Thomas test. Then measure the angle of the flexion of the arm. Then you come across fixed flexion deformity. Right? Now we go forward. What are the other fixed deformities? Flexion, abduction, internal rotation, and external rotation deformity. These are the other fixed deformities. Now, what how it should be? How should be the ESIS? Both the ASI should lie in the same horizontal line. When do you call the pelvis square? The interspinous line should cut at midline to cut the mid right angles, right? And ASIS is equidistant from the umbilicus or the city sternum. If you find this, then the pelvis is square. I'll repeat this again. When do you call pelvis square? When the interspinous line cuts the midline at right angles and ASIS, the attitude is of this high. If the ASIS is high, what it is trying to tell you? That there could be a possibility of fixed adduction deformity. If it is low, then it could be a possibility of fixed abduction deformity. Suggestion. When you find this, that means you need to square the pelvis. Simple. Understand? So, if the pelvis is not square, you have to square it. So, before squaring, find out whether it's an adduction deformity or the abduction deformity, and then it helps you in square. Now, but then, look for the level of the patella. What is it trying to tell you? What is the significance of this? It helps you detect the limb rotations and shock. Now, if the rotation is 5 to 15 degrees, that is normal. If the rotation is less than 5 degrees, then it is internal rotation of the limb. If the rotation is more than 50 degrees, then it is external rotation of the limb. And if it is shifted up, patella shifted up, it means limb is short, and if it is down, that means it's going to tell you. So if you can regularize your eyes to detect all these, then you are inching closer to your diagnosis and you are minimizing the errors which can happen during examination. Now we move on to the third step in palpation. That is, move to check and reveal the fixed step deformity. You understood how the deformities happen, how the deformities get fit, what are the various types of deformities? Single plane deformities, multiple plane deformities, and then now how you are going to reveal the fixed deformities so that you can bring the culprit out. The culprit being the pathology. Then you can detect and bring it out by revealing these fixed deformities. The first one, fixed flexion deformities, which is the most common deformity of the hip joint. How are you going to reveal it? Well, sir, you over Thomas test described where there was no X-ray, no MRI, no CT scan, and this was how the hip pathology was detected. You have to dock your hat to this masters who detected and who were very accurate in the diagnosis by careful examination of the hip joint. So, sir, you over Thomas, a Welsh surgeon, founder of orthopedic surgery and father of the British orthopedic surgery. You cannot forget this person, a simple, innocuous looking Thomas Plain, even he discovered has played a big role in the management of femur fractures and hip pathology and all that. So this is the man whom we should always remember. So what are the methods of performing the Thomas test? The first method, the classical method. Flex the normal leg till the lumbar lordosis obliquated. Here you see the lumbar lordosis. Now you flex the normal leg till the lumbar lordosis is obliquated. Check the obliteration by passing hand under the lumbar spine here. Okay, and the palm should face up. Now this is a controversial situation. Some examiners say that you should not be with the palm, but it should be with palm down. So they argue. They say you are wrong. They say if you say how you ask how you should be, say with the palm face, but you have to understand. It's the palm which can feel the trochanter easily, not the dorsum. And the dorsum has a convexity. So if you pass your hand around below the lordosis, this convexity may not give you the right indication that the lumbar lordosis is obliterated. Whereas if you get the palm facing up, it is flat. So the errors of not revealing the deformities less will if you pass the palm facing up. But you try to tell the examiner this way, if he is persistent, if he is telling that no, it has to be dorsum, then the best thing what you can do is you just keep quiet and you better accept him because he's the boss, he's your examiner. You can't argue with him and get into trouble later on. But the right way is always to push the palm facing down. The affected hip will assume the flexion position. So when you do this, when this get obliterated, the affected hip will assume flexion position. Then now keep this limb in neutral longitudinal alignment. 0 degrees of abduction and adduction and rotation. Now slightly extended the affected hip and measure the FFT. Angle between the back of the thigh and the neck. Very, very important. This is the classical way of doing the Thomas test. This was how it was described by Sir Hugh Owen Thomas. But there are other ways of doing this test. I will explain to that next. Now you hope you understood this perfectly. Here you can see that it should be once the hip assumes the flexion position, you keep the limb in the neutral longitudinal alignment. Okay, and then slightly extend the affected hip because you might have over exaggerated, you might have overdone it. So slightly extend so that you feel that resistance, and that is the exact spot where the fixed flexural deformity is. Then you measure the FFT. Be careful when you are measuring because the thigh, the fasciics are there, the undergarments and other things are there. So you may err in the diagnosing or in the measurement. So better you push this out and then measure it properly and get the angle. Right? What are the alternative methods of doing the assessing the fixed flexion deformity? The alternate methods are the patient is lying supine, both the hips are flexed. Okay, and then the hip being tested is then brought into extension. Okay, and while maintaining the opposite hip flexion deformity is said to be present. And if the posterior part of the thigh cannot touch the bed, the hand cannot be insinuated when the lumbar lordosis disappears. So the alternative method is the patient is lying supine, both the hips are flexed, and the hip that is going to be tested is then brought into extension slowly, and while maintaining the opposite hip flexion, right? Then flexion deformity is said to be present if the posterior part of the thigh cannot touch the bed. So the other one is you cannot insinuate the hand when the lumbar lordosis disappears. This is the other way of doing the test, but this is less accurate than the first one. Fixed flexion deformity plus free flexion is equal to total flexion or total flexion minus the terminal limitation of flexion. So it is clear with both the methods, the first method and the second method, and I think it is the first method which you always do. And if the examiner asks you, is there any other method of doing it? Well, this is one which you can say. Now, everything has got its drawbacks in life. Like that, even in Thomas test, there are some limitations. It's not totally foolproof. What are those? What are the limitations of Thomas test? One is it's difficult to in obese patients. Not useful if there is bilateral hip pathology. Inappropriate force, what you are giving, can give rise to a false reading. Now, the force what you exert on the hip on the limb can give a false reading. Then it is not useful if the knee is ankylosed and patient is hurt if there is pain. The patient has got pain in the hip joint. When you are doing this test, there is a possibility that you may hurt the patient. Flexion deformity of the knee is present to prevent thigh from touching the bed. So that is another drawback. In this case, if that is so, there is flexion deformity of the knee, which is preventing the thigh from touching the bed. Then you have to bring the patient to the edge of the table or edge of the bed, so the knees are off the bed. Then the test is done in the same way. So please know what are the limitations of Thomas test. Examiner may ask you what are the limitations of Thomas test. If you can rattle off these things, I think he should be mightily impressed with you. Now, we come to the coronal plane deformities, the abduction, adduction abduction deformities. Fixed adduction deformity. What is the pathogenesis? Adduction deformity prevents the patient's feet from being abducted to at least a neutral position. As division, pelvis is lifted on the affected side. This produces what is known as the apparent or functional shortening on the affected side. Fixed adduction deformity. How do you detect this particular problem? Look at the attitude of the ASIS. Is it at the higher level? If it is so, it's the compensation. Pelvis is tilted upwards and spine scoliosis happening. There is a pathology which has shifted the anterior superior island spine upwards. That means there is adduction deformity. And how is it compensated? by the pelvis tilting upwards and the spine scoliosis convexity happening to the opposite side. Now, you need to square the pelvis to reveal the fixed adduction deformity. How do you square the pelvis? By adducting the affected limb. So this is the fixed adduction deformity. Now, you need to this leg so that till both the ears come into the straight line. Okay, and then angle axis of the so I dropped on the SI on the D. Or is clear to you how to square the pelvis to reveal the fixed adduction deformity. You need to affected it. So both ASI comes into the same straight line, and that is the angle of its adduction deformity. Now, fixed abduction deformity pathogens. Abduction deformity prevents the patient from being adapted to the neutral position in order to bring the limb perpendicular to the so the pelvis drops on the affected side. This results in functional lengthening on the affected side. That means it is opposite to the adduction deformity. Hello?
Yes, sir. I think we lost your presentation for a moment. You can again share the presentation.
Now? Now?
You have to share the presentation again.
Okay, I'll go back.
Yeah.
I think this was true. I think this is the slide, right?
No, we can't still see the presentation.
You can't still see it.
No, we have to go back to the share slide.
Okay, 1 minute, I'll go back. 1 minute, just hold.
Yeah.
I'm checking it.
Yes, sir.
It says PowerPoint is not responding.
Okay.
So I'm closing it and I'll start it again.
Okay.
So these are some of the problems of online.
Right.
It's okay. Now,
Well, discussion on the Thomas test was really very good.
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, it's opening.
Yeah, you can. Hope the students are, waiting patiently.
Yeah, they are.
Why do you do these things happen? Because of the internet, I guess.
Yeah, because of the drop in the internet speed.
Yeah. I think night time when a lot of people start browsing,
Yeah, probably that.
and the time is heavy, I guess.
Right.
Maybe that could be the reason. It's taking time to open.
Yeah.
Can you see? Can you see?
Uh, Not yet. The PowerPoint is not yet open. But I can see. Yeah, now we can.
Now you can see?
Yeah.
Okay, so we go back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this slide, I think, this slide was visible.
Yeah, it was.
Okay,
So we
that
can
we have to go
continue
to the
from
next
here.
slide.
Yeah.
So how to detect the fixed abduction probability? Look at the attitude. Yes, level, compensation, pelvis tilted downwards, and then scoliosis with convexity towards the affected side. So if you can find this, then there is abduction deformity. Now we need to square the pelvis to reveal the fixed deformity. So how are you going to reveal this? Now you have to abduct the affected leg, okay, and to square the pelvis, and you have to abduct the affected leg. That's why a line dropped down from ASIS gives you the fixed abduction deformity. So hope this is very simple, not difficult, and it can be done. When is it difficult to square the pelvis? This you should know. When it is difficult, when there is fixed pelvic obliquity, or iatrogenically, if the ASIS has been removed, marked development of hemipelvis, conjunctivitis, unreduced dislocation of the sacroiliac joints, united vertical fractures of the ilium. Then, in those situations, it is very difficult to square the pelvis. In such situations, how are you going to measure the fixed adduction and abduction deformity when you cannot square the pelvis? These are very important. And this is where the Potaris method comes into help. So this Potaris method helps to assess the fixed adduction of this without squaring the pelvis. How to do that? You mark the two anterior superior iliac spine. You draw a line joining these two the lines and angle here. So that would give you the fixed adduction and abduction angle. The angle of the adduction and abduction deformity for every 10 degrees, what you get here, there is 1 centimeter shortening on the plane. Hope you understood this Potaris method. Okay, this Potaris method is, to mark the two AS and AS, join that and draw a horizontal line. Angle, what you find here is the angle of the deformity. For every 10 degrees of deformity, there is 1 centimeter shortening or length. So this is useful that you cannot square the pelvic. So keep this in mind. If you are asked, please explain to the examiner problem. Now comes the rotational deformities. How do you detect and measure it? Method 1. There are 3 methods. How you do this, or 2 methods, I guess so. Then the first one is know the direction and inclination of the knob of the great toe. So where is it pointing? So and whether it works outwards or straight. So that is method number 1. Method number 2 is the direction of the patella. So this is more important. Where is the patella looking? Straight or sideways? Angle between the imaginary perpendicular line and over center of the anterior surfaces of patella to the plumb line. So this will give you the rotational deformities, whether it's external or internal. And note that rotational deformities are not compensated. So less headache for you. Other deformities are compensated, and you have to spend your time to find out what are the compensation, where at all it is happening, and how we interpret the compensation. Whereas in the rotational deformities, it is always revealed, or internally rotated, looking at the patella, and if the patella is less than between 5 and 50, I told you it is less than 5. Less than 5 it is internally rotated, 5 and 50 it is normal, more than 50 is externally rotated. So this is how you can find out the rotational deformities. Then we come to the movements. How to check the movements? Hip joint mobility is described in 3 planes. Flexion is flexion, extension, abduction, adduction, internal rotation and external rotation. Normal range of movements varies considerably, but what is more important is to compare with the unaffected hip. Range of motion is recorded in degrees, the 0 being the neutral or anatomical position of the joint. 2 things are to be remembered before going on to check for range of motion. First, it is important to distinguish the hip joint movements from the movements occurring in the adjacent joints. There is a big movement of the compensation happening pelvis and the lumbar spine. This should be done by stabilizing the pelvis and detecting the pelvic motion as soon as it occurs. Second, a patient with hip joint pathology usually develops deformity resulting from muscle contractures, muscle imbalance, joint restriction, or joint instability. Once the deformity sets in, compensatory movements occur in the adjacent joints to maintain the equilibrium. So these compensatory movements can completely mask the underlying deformity and result in a seemingly normal hip attaining a neutral anatomical position. Therefore, deformity should be ruled out before examining for the range of movements. This is done by neutralizing the compensatory movements, then you examine for the range of motion. This does not hold true for rotational deformities as they remain rigid most of the time. Hope this is clear with you. Now, the movements, during the measurement of movements, always fix the pelvis and know the normal range of movements. Flexion, it is 0 to 130 degrees. Extension is 0 to 15 degrees. Abduction is 0 to 40 degrees. Then adduction is 0 to 30 degrees. External rotation, hip flexion is 0 to 45. Then internal rotation is 0 to 45. And external rotation, hip extension 0 to 45, internal rotation, hip extension is 0 to 35. The range of movement will be fixed deformity if it is 10 degrees and free movement if it is 90 degrees, and the total movement will be 100 degrees. So that is how you are going to assess it. So the triad, move the deformity, call the squaring, then check for the stability, then assess the active and passive movements. So this is what you do when you are going to move the joint. So movements of the hip now. You want to examine the movements of the hip. Say flexion. First, if there is fixed flexion deformity, what is that? You should patient is in supine position and you perform the Thomas test. If after the fixed flexion deformity is revealed, measure the extent of fixed flexion deformity by noting the angle. So now look for further active flexion. Then further passively flex the hip in front of the thigh touches the upper. Now add all these three together. A plus B plus. Okay. How are you going to assess the movement of the hip if there is FFT? Patient is supine. First do the Thomas test. The FFT is revealed, measure the extent of FFT. Then do further active flexion. Then further passively ask the patient to further active flexion. Then third, do the passive flexion of the hip in front of the thigh touches the abdomen. This way. And all these three, A plus B plus. That means you have to record each one. The first, the angle, then the active flexion, the angle, then the passive flexion till the whole thing gets operated. Then add these three. Flexion of the hip joint. The knee being in extension, flexion of the hip can also be carried out keeping the knee joint extended. The normal range here is 90 degrees. So this is the alternative method for assessing the flexion. Then extension. Method 1, in prone position, fix the pelvis by downward pressure like this. Instruct the patient to actively lift the thigh off the ground with the knee straight like that. Then passively lift the thigh off the ground with the knee straight. Mark A, mark B. Measure the angle between the bed and the thigh. Okay. Then total extension is A plus B. Then do it on the other side too and then compare. Normal range is 5 to 15 degrees. So normally what we do is we just ask the patient to extend and then try to measure the angle and tell that this is the extension zone. You have to first ask the patient to actively extend the hip and then passively extend it further. Note both the angles and both and you will get the actual the extension and you compare it with the other side. Then there is another method of examining the extension, that is in the side position. Method 2. Here the to actively take back the limb as limb is passively extended from that position, then that is B. Then you add both A plus B to get the extension in the side lying position. Adduction. Method 1. Squaring. If there is fixed adduction deformity, square the pelvis by adducting the affected limb. Then measure the fixed adduction deformity. Now instruct the patient to actively adduct as much as possible. That is B. Then do the passive adduction next. That is, C actually. So then A plus B plus C becomes the extent of adduction. Perform it on the other side too. Compare and deduct the findings. The difference in the reading indicates the limitation of adduction. Normal is about 30 degrees or it crosses the mid thigh. Hope you understood how to measure the adduction movements when there is an adduction deformity of the head. Then we come into the alternative methods of measuring the adduction when there is fixed adduction deformity. If you have an assistant with you, the patient is supine, the assistant lifts the leg, normal leg up, and the affected is now adducted by you, and the range of adduction is now measured. This is the angle, the axis of the thigh, and the perpendicular line measure this angle. So lift this, your assistant lift this, it will be difficult for you to perform this kind of test. Then there is another method. When there is fixed adduction deformity, here you don't need an assistant. You yourself can do this. Patient is supine. The examiner lifts the affected leg up and then crosses it over the unaffected leg and it should cross mid thigh normally. Right? And the angle here. So these are the alternative methods on the adduction movements. And the first one what I explained was the one which you should not do. Then there is another method which you can follow. When there is a fixed adduction deformity, to make room for adduction, the opposite limb can be placed over the edge of the table or lifted by an assistant, or the limb being examined is brought into sliding flexion. So this is the other way of doing the adduction default. Measuring the adduction movements when there is fixed adduction default. Now you come to the abduction, the third one, supine position with limb in extension. To square the pelvis by abducting the affected limb. Then ask the patient to actively abduct further as much as possible, and then do the passive abduction yourself. Then you will sum up this A plus B plus C. You do it on the other side. Find the difference between the two readings. This reading indicates the limitation of abduction technique. Hope you understood how to do the if there is a fixed abduction deformity. Alternate method, the method 2, with the limb inflection. Hip is flexed 90 degrees like that, and then feet approximated together, and then gradual abduction on both the sides, and note the deficit. Okay, that is is your limited abduction. In children, 80 to 90 degrees, and in adults it is around 60 to 70 degrees. So these are the alternate methods which you should know, because if the examiner asks, you should be able to answer them. Then examination of the external and internal rotations. There are three methods of doing this. One is supine method, keeping the hip and the knee straight. So for screening, this is useful for screening purpose. In this position, just roll the limb inwards and of the thigh and roll the limb. Repeat and compare with the opposite side. So this is method number 1. That is in the supine position. The supine position is one more method. The internal external rotation in supine position. The other method is keeping the hip and knees bent. Okay, you bend the hip to 90 degrees, then bend the knee to 90 degrees, then using the leg as the fulcrum, turn it inwards and outwards like that. So you can use this as the fulcrum and turn it inwards and outwards. The angle between the long axis of the leg and imaginary straight line is the degree of rotation. So the first accurate, and this is what you need to do in the examination. There's another method in the prone position which is more accurate. Here the hip is kept in extension, the hip is in extension here. Both the knees are bent to 90 degrees. Both the legs are turned inwards or outwards like this. The internal and external rotations are compared between both the sides. So when it is going outwards, you are internally rotating the hip. When you are coming inwards, you are externally rotating the hip. And this is how you do the examination of the movements in prone position for rotations. Then there is a sitting method. How you do the rotation testing. So the external rotation with the hip inflection, the patient is sitting like this, and the patient is sitting, the hip is in flexion. Now you are testing the external rotation by doing this, and you are testing the internal rotation by doing this. When you are bringing both the legs inwards, you are testing the external rotation in the hip joint. When you are taking it out, you are testing the internal rotation. You are bringing it in, you are testing the external rotation. So these are not very accurate tests. The prone method is the most important. So, a quick recap of how you should measure the movements. Any fixed deformities has to be identified. Then the further range of motion has to be found out. If any abnormality has to be detected. Change in the arc of motion has to be detected, and that is how we go on. So, important bios questions may come up when you do the movements when it is discussed about extension. Then first to be lost in tuberculosis is the abduction movements. Perthes is the adduction and external rotation that is limited. And in subcapital femoral epiphys is the abduction, internal rotation is limited, and adduction and external rotation is more. Adduction and external rotation is more, abduction and the internal rotation is less. And then immediate, it is the abduction, rotation, limited, adduction, excess, flexion, and extension are key. So these are some of the vital clues that can give, but we cannot go on this alone. We have to corroborate all other findings to come to a conclusion. So a quick recap, methods of resetting various movements of the hip joint. Flexion, if there is FFD, perform the Thomas test and then flexion, further flexion. If there is no FFD, bend the thigh over the abdomen. Hip flexion with leg raised straight. Then extension can be done as a prone position or lateral position. We told you. Adduction you can do in the supine position after squaring of the pelvis, or you can lift the normal leg up and do the measurement if you have an assistant, or you can cross over the affected leg when you don't have an assistant, and then go into the edge of the table and assessing is another way of doing the movement of adduction. In abduction, supine position, after patient is in the supine position, then you square the pelvis. Then you that is one method of doing it, and patient is in supine position with both the you're going to assess, and that is another way of doing the abduction. Then rotation can be done either in supine, prone, or sitting. Prone is supposed to be the most accurate. What does the alternative arc of motion tell you? I told you this earlier. Right. Stiffness, how it helps in the diagnosis. Anatomical diagnosis, decreased range of motion plus pain at extremes. If you have this, that is synovitis. If it is moderate, decreased range of movements and pain, that is arthritis. And if it is severe, then it could be fibrous ankylosing. No movement, no pain. Then it could be bony ankylosis or extraarticular ankylosis. And you should know what are the ankylosis and its types. Fibrous movement, end stage of tuberculosis or septic arthritis is the diagnosis in fibrous ankylosing. As in bony ankylosis, absolutely no pain, no movement, fixed deformities, no telescopy, no tendon birth, very advanced stage of secondary OIS. So pathological diagnosis, synovitis versus arthritis. If it is synovitis, it will be mild abduction deformities, and there will be no true lending or shortening by restriction. In children, it could be transit synovitis, tuberculosis. In adults, it could be tuberculosis, rheumatoid arthritis, or early avian. If it is arthritis, deformity is likely, true shortening, slightly weight bearing, affected monoarticular or polyarticular, depending whether it's osteoarthritis or rheumatoid arthritis. There will be moderate restriction of movements. Range of movement decreased in all the range except in the neuropathic joints, pain in all except neuropathy. Consider in unilateral, if it is unilateral type, then to the tuberculosis, subacute, subacute spondyloarthropathies, monoarticular rheumatoid arthritis, avian, secondary OA. If it is bilateral and multiple, it could be SSA, the avian, primary OA, or AS and others. Right? So we'll stop here. It's already 1 hour 15 minutes now. We'll take it to the third episode, the measurements. Hope Dr. Ashok will further discuss this in the third episode.
Yes, sir. I think it is very, very exhaustive, and there are so many new things even I'm learning. So
when I'm teaching, I'm also learning.
Yes,
so
sir.
Learning is a continuous process.
Right,
sir. It doesn't stop.
Right, sir.
Hope the students will find it useful for them, and they will clear the cobwebs in their mind. And there's a lot of confusion in the HIP examination. I find this whenever I am sitting and the teacher is presenting the case, we find that there is so much of confusion because so many issues are not clarified to them properly. Right. Any questions coming forth?
There are people online, but I don't think we have enough time for questions.
Okay, fine. So we'll reserve the questions for the last episode. Probably. Next one should be last, I guess. And we'll take it forward from there.
Right, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ashok. Good night. See you 2 weeks from now.
Good night, sir.
Good night. Good night. Thank you.